There's so many people that want to get into the real estate space. My best advice is always just that. Like, you got to surround yourself with people that you want to be like, right, that are doing it, and then see how you can add value to those people. If you do those two things consistently, you will be successful.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like growing up, my grandparents, they were always givers, right? Majority of the time, like almost 100% of the time, we're always like giving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, we receive, but majority is always giving value to other people and not expecting anything in return. Is how I kind of run my show.
Yeah. Welcome again to the Deals and Aloha podcast, where we talk about real estate deals, hope to leave a lasting impact with our audience, and of course, spread aloha.
Yeah.
You can find us on all social media platforms at Kamohai and Tristyn. Please like, subscribe, and share so we can blow this thing up.
Put Hawaii on the map.
Let's go.
So today we have Fuzzy Jardine. When we first started, you were the name that was getting like the OG, the one that like knew everything, and so it's an honor to have you.
Yeah.
Fuzzy from High Home Resolutions Inc. You specialize in ground up construction, all things construction, and you are primarily on Oahu doing deals and on the Big Island doing deals.
Yes.
Thank you for being here.
Oh, thank you for having me, because I see you guys all over the map on social media, and I'm like, yeah, might as well try and see if I can get in touch with you too. So thank you for having me.
Yeah, for sure.
This is super special for us.
Yeah, I feel like it's more of an honor for us. We're grateful to have you here.
Give me
My
that
dog
dog.
is crazy.
Give me that dog.
But no, this morning when I woke up, I literally told my wife, okay,
That woke
we
me
get to
up
hear
out of bed.
we get to
to
hear
say
Fuzzy's
this.
story, but we need to figure out how we're going to partner with him and make a business out of this. So I'm super excited.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
you guys already got the Deals in Aloha going, so like that Aloha part,
Yeah.
is what my whole company is all about, is giving back to our local communities. And for the past 10 years, that's my whole mission, and everyone that's on the team knows the mission, that we're going to try and build these houses as affordable as we can, given the fact that we have these different codes that got thrown at us.
Yeah.
Even knowing that, trying to, even if we don't make as much profit on the back end, but by doing multiple,
Yeah.
it covers up for
Right,
that.
right. The volume does. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're definitely going to dig into that. But why don't we start at the very beginning? Let's hear about you. Like, how did you end up in the real estate space?
Oh shoot, man! Yeah, my story is I grew up, with my grandfather and grandmother, and then I grew up with my mom and stepfather. But when I was with my grandfather, he's a journeyman painter and sandblaster, so I was always on his job sites. And then we grew up on a pig farm, so building fences, patching fences and stuff like that. So kind of started way back then, but really started after I read that Rich Dad Poor Dad book.
Yeah.
Kind of got my mind thinking into real estate, and then I got involved with fortune builders. So the radio station, whatever commercial that came out,
They hook you in with those commercials.
Like, hey, we're looking for a Fuzzy out there, and we know you're out there, but we need you on our team. And in my mind, I'm like, dude, I'm that person.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So when I went to that event, that free thing, and hook, line, sinker, and that was it. Like, that's how I kind of got involved with the money side. I was looking for the money side because I kind of knew the construction side growing up. So
Right. Similar stories on how we got started.
Fortune
Except
builders.
you were more like my wife. She was the one that got hooked, like right
Yeah.
off the bat. I was
sold instantly.
Yeah, I was
I didn't care.
I was the very skeptical one in the beginning, where I was like, what? You can't buy houses with none of your own money. There's no way. We live in it's too expensive for houses here. So she dragged me into that 3-day seminar. Well, actually, it was like an hour or 2
and
hours.
then
Then
it's
it
the 3
Right.
days.
turned into 3 days, and then it turned into a lot of
$50,000
money.
later, right?
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Yeah. So that's cool. Same kind of intro to the space.
So, I mean, what drew you to the industry though? Like, why? You read the book, you were involved in construction, you went to a seminar, but like, what was calling you? Like, what in your life was calling you to be in this industry?
Well,
Gosh.
put it this way, like we all live in Hawaii and we know how expensive it is, right? To be able to make things happen here in Hawaii, to put roofs over your family's head and stuff like that. So like the book just inspired me to reach out of the circle that I was taught, like, go work or go learn a trade and that's how you're gonna make money and pay for whatever it is, but never taught of a business minded. And this is from watching growing up with my grandparents and my mom, just watching them working like 3 jobs. So
Yeah.
just reading that book inspired me to think outside the box, right?
Yeah.
And not in here. So it just, I don't know, I'm lost for words right now, but like after that book, joining this fortune builder thing kind of just expanded my mind even more, from what they spoke at that event. And of course the guy that was there was a surfer.
Oh, no way.
I know surfing more than anything. Like I was at Sandy Beach and Makapu'u all my
Every
life.
day.
Yeah.
I know that more than real estate.
Right.
Yeah.
So you can throw me in any ocean and I can handle
Right.
myself and also be there to save people too. So
Yeah. So the surfer up there on stage hooked you even more. He's like, "Brah,
You're like,
look at
he's
that."
speaking my language.
Yeah.
right, and then the why, right? And then of course my why is because how I grew up, right? We never had things that you see your friends growing up in school, like nicer things, and I didn't want that for my family.
Yeah.
Right. So kind of my why is for my kids to have what we didn't have and to set the foundation for, like, they talk about generational wealth, like leaving behind stuff for, grandkids and, next generations.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it can be done because, that's why we're sitting here together.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yep.
Totally.
And even if you're from here and born and raised, like, and you didn't have what other people had, if you work hard, you can
Do it.
Yeah.
succeed.
Big time.
I feel like we can relate on a lot of levels. I mean, my parents were entrepreneurs, but all I did was see them work. They were working all the time. Your dad,
Very traditional.
working all the time,
Yeah.
And then we have a common theme of, I feel like a lot of us investors come from hardship. And so it like instills in us a desire to want more. You know what I mean? So like we can relate to you on that level. So I love that.
Yeah. I have a very obsessive personality. So it is my biggest blessing and my biggest curse, right? And so if I put that effort into the wrong things, I can go down the wrong path very quickly. Mm-hmm. But when I found real estate, it unlocked a passion that I didn't even necessarily know I had, right? And I obsessed about that, and I still obsess about that, and it's been my biggest blessing. So
Right.
yeah,
I agree. He channeled all of that obsessive
Energy,
person
right?
into something positive.
Right, that's good though.
Yeah. So Fortune Builders, you join it, you learn everything you just start crushing. You just like kill it, or how does that progress?
What was the progression? Like, how did you find your first deal?
So 2013, me and my wife was kind of, when we went to the event, we put in an offer for our first like house.
Oh, nice.
I had credit, she had credit, right? She had a job, I had a job. Of course, you gotta have a job. Right?
Yeah.
W-2 back then, and when we went to this event, at that time, my mom and stepdad was going through foreclosure. in Kailua. The
no
house was
way.
in Kailua. So when we signed up, the girl that we signed up with, I approached her. I was like, hey, I'm signing up, one, to learn from you guys, but also is there a way you guys can help my parents because they're going through foreclosure.
Wow.
And
Right.
what happened was they put me in touch with the coaches. I think it was first they put me on the phone with Bob LaChance, and then he put me in touch with Angela and Michael Gregg.
Okay.
And they were the coaches back then, in
Yep.
Hawaii.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so when I met with them, they kind of walked me through the process, and I learned from watching what Angela was showing me. And then when they sat with my parents, they explained everything, the situation that they're in, and how they could get out of it,
Right.
and placed it in front of them for them to make the decision of what choice they would take. And,
Right.
At that time, my stepfather was there. I was living there too, and then my sister, her boyfriend, and then my brother was in the house. So what happened was my brother wasn't paying nothing, right? My sister and my stepdad and me were paying for the mortgage,
Right.
because what happened was that house got gifted to him from his mom.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we could they refinanced like 3 times.
Oh.
So the mortgage was like $3,500 a month, and
Right.
my stepdad, and my parents couldn't really cover that.
Yep.
Yeah.
So Angela Gregg and Michael Gregg presented that to my parents. But what happened was my brother's like, oh hell no, we're not going to sell this house to those people. So
Right.
he stepped up, right, and he came to pay for the rest of the rent or mortgage.
Yeah.
So
Saved it.
They
he
could get
he
he
saved
could get the mortgage up to date.
right.
Yeah, paid all the
And
arrears.
then that lasted for maybe 6 months where and then he moved out, and then they went back into that
Same
foreclosure.
situation. Yeah.
But because Kailua's value went from that point to maybe 6 months later, the value went from thinking that their house was worth nothing to jumped huge.
Yeah.
So
Right.
what happened
Yeah.
was I think Dante, what is Dante Vala?
I know exactly
Yeah,
who you're
yeah.
Dante,
talking
we
about.
know you.
Yeah.
What's up, Dante?
Yeah.
Everybody
Dante.
knows Dante.
Shout out Dante.
In fact, I met Dante at Fortune Builders.
no way.
Cool.
That time I signed up,
Yeah.
and he helped us list the property, flat rate, and then the neighbor across, Kolaiah, came across and said, "We'll buy it from you guys."
Oh, wow.
Oh, no way.
My parents ended up selling it for more,
Right.
paid off the mortgage, and then they were able to get a place in Kapolei, Homestead.
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
nice.
And
Nice.
that's where my sister and my stepdad is right now.
Right
so-
now. Yeah.
So you-
Crazy.
you
So
kinda-
that was your first intro.
Yeah.
kind of.
Experience. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So with that though, when Angela and Michael Gregg stepped in, I kept in touch with them, and I said, "Hey, look, I'll do anything, everything you guys tell me. I'll go do door knocking. I'll do whatever you guys tell me." And that's kind of what happened. I went out, put bandit signs with her Michael's brother Brian. So we'd go around driving. I'll do it daylight.
Yeah.
Bring the ladder,
Uh-huh.
pop it up.
Oh,
So it was crazy. And then we did door knocking for them, and I think at that time they had 6 or 7 projects, and I was the guy with my friend Simote who had the contractor's license, so we helped them with the construction side throughout all the projects. And,
Nice.
Yeah.
so that's kind of how I dove in.
Yeah. Was right with the coaches helping them.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah, and then with that experience, right, watching what they were saying, that helped me
Yeah.
learn the other side that people don't know.
So you
Right,
had
right.
hands-on training.
Yeah, they held my hand.
Yeah,
Once I
yeah.
seen how she spoke to my parents.
Yep.
What forms that they had.
Yeah.
And
You saw the
that was,
projects. You were in the projects.
yeah, and then during that time, you get your curriculum with Fortune Builders,
Right.
and of course they say, "Oh, go put these ads up, free ads in Craigslist and all that stuff." So
Yep.
I put a little ad, and the ad said, "Fuzzy buys houses." And alongside working with Angela Gregg and Michael Gregg, what happened was I put that ad, and somebody contacted me from the Big Island,
Oh, no way.
a developer, and he said, "Yeah, you buy houses?" I go, "Yeah, we buy houses."
Yeah.
And I didn't have money, right? So
Yeah.
first person I was thinking in my head is Angela and Michael.
yeah.
Right.
Turn this over to them, and so I did. And they sent the contract to the guy, and he never signed it because I think there was another guy, Michael. Michael Mazzella, I think, was
Yeah.
the guy who did the deal with that developer.
Oh, got it.
But I still kept in touch with that guy.
Yeah.
And what happened was still working with the Greggs, and helping them out with all their projects. But in me, something was digging because I grew up on the Big Island too, so I knew that guy had something special.
Yeah.
And I knew that the properties there that he was building was affordable.
Right.
So I wanted to team up, like you guys. You woke up like, hey, like see how we can do something with Fuzzy, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I called him, down the road, like three or 4 months down the road, and I said, "Hey, bro, you still got that house you want to sell?" He goes, "Oh no, but I got another one that." So he sent me the business plan. When I read the business plan, it just made sense.
Made
right?
sense to you.
The all in and the end number made sense because the comps, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Comps was like $100,000 more than what he could, buy the land and
build for. Yeah.
So that's kind of where I got involved with the brand new builds was through that developer.
guy.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
So how long was it from when you joined Fortune to that point?
I would say, I dove in with the curriculum, right? Just watching all the videos, falling asleep.
We all been
We
there.
can relate.
Yeah. 10
wake
o'clock
up,
at
wake up.
night.
Yeah.
But the stuff that they taught was awesome. But it took me, I think about 6 months to like 6 to 9 months, I believe, is when I first got in touch with that guy. But we had another student that came from like the sidelines, right?
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
can I get in touch with Michael Gregg? Because I know yeah. And so I got him in touch. And one of our first deals was in Kona. This guy used to take care of the property. He was the landscaper.
Got it.
And he brought the deal to the table. And then we used the hard money from Dan Merlin.
Okay.
Yeah.
With the Greg, so even that I seen that
That process.
That process.
Yeah.
and then I was part of the helping to fix up the place, project manage
Right.
throughout the project. So yeah, that was kind of crazy. Like
That is crazy.
flying to Kona, because it was in Kona, right? So
Yeah.
I'll drive fly to Hilo, then drive to Kona, and just manage the project. And that's kind of where the first deal came from. Was like a fixer upper.
Yeah.
Beautiful property. It was like on an acre lot with like 2 houses like
Wow.
attached together.
Nice.
Wow.
And it was from the landscaper that was
landscaper
on
working.
that
There was a
property.
student, right? Fortune Builder
Wow, that's
student
so
that
cool.
came to me because
Yep.
like I guess I could have been more relatable, but
Yeah.
to get to the coaches, right?
And then you connected the
I
dots.
connected us
You were
three
the
together,
connector,
and then so in this business, networking, right? So
Big
Yeah.
time. Big time.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's
never
our
know.
relationships and collaboration.
right.
Wow.
Nice. So then did you, after you did that deal, I mean, I guess throughout your kind of career when you were getting started, were you doing mostly deals on Oahu, or did you very quickly
Just gravitate
move
to the Big Island?
So
Island? Like
I
you
was-
saw something on the Big Island, you knew that's where your heart was, and
Yeah.
you tried to get there as soon as possible.
So I knew from the get go, like, because I grew up, on the Big Island with my grandparents, and then I would be back and forth with my mom. But I knew that the land was, affordable.
Yeah.
But it was still like rural, right? You got to live off of water catchment.
Right.
So the I guess the need or the demand for that wasn't as high.
Yeah.
I guess the demand wasn't as high back then when we started, but
Okay.
I knew the prices was affordable.
Yep.
And then when I met the developer, I just knew this was, it was calling me to be able to give back, to our local communities.
Right.
true building houses and selling them affordable. Because
Yeah.
when we started, we were selling 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,600 square foot living for like $265
What?
for like
That's crazy.
Wow.
on an acre lot. And,
Yeah.
and now they're selling for like in the fives, you know.
Yeah.
Right,
Which
right,
is so affordable in Hawaii,
and
right?
this is
But-
like 6 years ago.
Yeah.
We're buying lots for like 18 to 20 grand. Now they're selling for like 80 and 100.
Yeah.
For those
Same lots.
properties.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow, that's so interesting.
That is.
I mean, have you always just been cognizant about wanting to provide affordable housing from the beginning? Where do you think that comes from?
Sure, I grew up in Hawaiian Acres, and Hawaiian Acres is like, I don't know why my grandfather went there. Maybe he just wanted to be away from
Everything.
everybody,
Yeah.
and then lock my grandma up because she was a stay-at-home
Yeah.
mom and took care of the kids. And anyway, like no electric, no telephone, bumpy road to get
Crazy.
home, right?
Yeah. Full off
And
grid.
I'd
Yeah.
walk like almost 2 miles to get down to the road to catch the bus to school. So it was but knowing that, like living that way, I wanted to give back to my community, because there's a lot of people, like you look at the people on Oahu or families on Oahu that live on the west side. I live on the west side now, but you just see all the families
Yep.
in tents, and the Big Island just in my mind is like, okay, these people that's living on the beach, if we can educate them on trying to get themselves back on their feet if they want it,
If
Yeah.
not,
it's there.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And because it's so affordable still, my heart just is there. Even
Yeah.
though I don't live there, I lived there before, but I guess God's like
Yeah.
spirit or whatever it is,
He called
is
you
sending
there.
me there,
Yeah.
because if I stop doing what I'm doing, like it's like I have like this whole system from me here and then everybody involved. So everybody on the here is like, we're putting so much food on the table,
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Like everybody involved,
Impacting
like
a ton of
lawyers,
lives.
like
Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah.
And then not only that, when the end person, which is the family that gets the house, like we're giving them equity plus like credit,
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's insane to be able to do this, So like, it makes me happy
Yeah.
when the keys go over to
Yeah. Yep.
families that like, oh my goodness, like that can afford, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And it is affordable. So
I love
Yeah.
that.
So
because
cool.
Honolulu and Kauai and Maui is just like,
It's
not-
almost impossible.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, you can still buy some like a little bit of land and a house on the west side, but like even the west side now, you know what I mean, is getting
the
up there.
land is
So
like maybe what 5,000
5,000 square feet.
is
That's
Yeah,
it.
that's it.
yeah.
300, 200-300, not even twos, like 2 something for the land alone.
Yeah.
If you lucky.
Yeah.
if
yeah.
you're lucky, yeah.
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 It's hard to find anything under $1 million. Anything.
Right. It's-
Anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like I believe like if we can educate like just local families, if they can, because there's some people there's a couple realtors there that like they had some money and they bought a whole bunch of lots, and I know there's one realtor in general, he buys the land and then he does like owner finance,
That's cool.
right? So locals can go contact him. I'm not
Right.
sure what his name is, but he'll do the owner finance. So like,
Nice.
at least buy a property and hold it until you can make the
Right.
change.
Qualify. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, the only downfall is that there's not much jobs on the Hilo side.
Right.
So I think that's why most people don't move there. But
Yeah.
I'm thinking more of like if people can think of that as a stepping stone, like an
Starting
investment,
point.
Yeah.
Yep.
right? And you don't have to like have a big. You just buy the land and then build like a shed or something.
Mhm.
Go there,
Yeah.
or just a starter.
Yeah.
Yep.
For their kids, to give to their kids, because like there's still properties that's like you can get them for like there was a tax lien auction a couple weeks ago for like $3,000.
That's crazy.
8,000 square foot lots were going for. What?
You're like,
Yeah. So
Yeah.
how many properties did you buy last week?
You already had plenty going.
I
huh?
already got a bunch going. So I
Yeah.
just went there to just, we filmed a little bit to kind of
Oh, good.
educate
Yeah.
for the next one.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Because every 6 months they have
They do 'em
a
every
tax
6
lien
months.
auction.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's crazy. So you decide Big Island, you start coming up here. What does that progression look like? Is it
boy.
you just buy a lot and start developing, or like how did that end up happening?
So it just kind of went from one project, and then that. So this is how kind of what happened on our first project. Me, kind of separating myself from the coaches. Right, I was still doing stuff with the coaches, but the Big Island stuff drew me away to do my own thing, alongside with project managing with my boy Simote on Oahu. These brand new builds up on the Big Island. Dude, the more we did, the stress was even piled up,
Right.
because like the subs, even if you tell them over and over and over, they still do the same thing.
Yeah.
So you got to have somebody on the ground to
Every
kind of
day.
be there to manage the
Right.
system. Some
Yeah.
of the subs that I have, like the electrician, plumber, I don't got to worry. Like I
Yeah.
paid him a higher fee, but I don't got to worry about them. It's just the other subs, like the painter. The painter's the ones that usually leave a lot of mess.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
I keep
Yeah.
grumbling to them over and over, and not only that, like they leave their plate lunches and like just I'm like, oh my god,
Yeah.
we gotta fix this.
Yeah,
How
yeah.
can we do this?
Yes,
So I've been on
yes.
communication with them now, and even the guys that's the I wouldn't say goods, but the guys that's laborers,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
They mean a lot to me, because if it wasn't for them, the whole system
Would break.
Yeah,
Yeah.
have to
Yeah.
fall
find
apart.
someone else.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, I explained to them, like, dude, like, I'm getting upset right now. Like
Yeah.
every time I come to these projects, like, you guys scrape the windows, but like we got floors down, and you guys just leave them for me to clean up. Like,
Right.
Yeah. What's up with that? Yeah.
I'm not.
I'm the one writing the checks
is
here.
not cool,
Yeah.
like-
Yeah.
So like, even if you think like, oh my God, Fuzzy's doing 20 projects, like I'm still
You're
there.
in it,
I'm
yeah.
at Home Depot every week. I'm
Yeah.
making sure that, or just the stuff that needs to be picked up that never got shipped on the order that you order online, right? Because a lot of times people think, oh yeah, you can go order from Home Depot
No,
online.
no.
Like, you will not get what you ordered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or it's canceled.
100% of the time.
100%.
You will not get an item, or like it just, so you need, like, the thing, I think how I've been better on ordering is I go up there and I just pull I'm my own pooler. So now I'm gonna hire someone, just, okay, even if we get the list, we need to have them pool it, take it to the pro desk, we pay for it, and then I know everything's gonna
You
get
know
to
that
Yeah.
it got there, yeah. So
Yeah.
we have personal experience with this because we have 4 houses in Hilo right now. We're
Right.
renovating them, and ordering anything online,
Yeah.
dude, the next day or 3 days later or a week later, canceled.
Well, whatever
They
they say,
get canceled all the
whatever
time.
they say is available online actually isn't available in the store. So then it's like there's no sense
Right.
to even order it online. Send somebody, but like it's
Yeah. So, and that's the thing. Like, one huge ninja tip is getting in contact with somebody from Home Depot that can help
you.
Like, and even if it's giving them gift card, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they'll make sure that, and you relay this to them, like, hey, you need to make sure that this order gets pulled, everything, but
Yeah.
email me or text me, let me
Yeah.
know.
Like
Yeah.
take care of me
Yeah.
and I'll take care
Like
of you.
so like
Help me.
a inside person
Yeah.
that you have a personal relationship
Right.
with. Yeah.
Try
and
and
then you
build-
just nurture that.
Because there's a couple. If you go to Home Depot, there's the same lady or guy that's there, and you just connect with them,
Yeah.
and just take care of them, because they're the ones that's gonna
Make
take care
sure,
of
yeah.
make sure your orders pulled.
Crazy. You have the vision, you move up there. Tell us about your first ground up construction on the Big Island. Where did you find the land? How did you fund it? Like tell us about that process.
Okay.
Was it the one in Kona, or were you said
No, the one in
Hilo?
Kona was the fix and flip with
Okay.
the student.
So now we're doing
yeah.
first ground up in
First
Hilo.
ground up in Hilo.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, shoot, with that little ad I was talking to you guys about, the developer called me, and that I guess done. We did, like, the Gregs didn't go with it, or he didn't decide to go with the
Go with
Gregs.
them.
He
Yeah,
went
it
with
just didn't work
Mike
out.
Masella, I think.
Yep.
And so anyway, he sent me this new plan, and hey, I got this land that's for like 18 grand or 20 grand, and then we can build this house. So he sent me the business plan, because was part of Fortune Builders. There's the Facebook group, and I'm thinking, shoot, maybe, So what I did was I posted that on the group opportunity, for a private money lender,
Right.
or partner, and like 20 people messaged,
Wow.
and 5 kind of stuck around, communicated, asking more questions. 2 got real serious, and then 1 couple from Maui who I'm still friends with,
Oh, that's
Nice.
awesome.
that live in Florida now. They moved back to Florida because their parents were getting older.
Right. Right. Right.
But they stuck, and they put up pretty much all the money
Wow.
Okay.
to fund that one project.
Nice.
Nice.
So here I am, Fuzzy, and then the developer, Mana. His name was Mana, and Cheryl and Frank and Cheryl. So Frank and Cheryl talked to us on the phone. We kind of negotiated the whole process with Mana, because he had the team,
Yeah.
Right.
the smarts, right?
Yeah.
And I'm here
And
like,
then you had
okay,
the
I'm in the
money.
middle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't care if I'm making anything. I just
You want to
like,
learn
You're
the
learning.
process.
ride,
Yeah.
Like, oh my God,
Yeah.
this is gonna
This is
happen.
happening.
So it happened, right? So Frank and Cheryl put up the money. Me and Mana kind of managed everything, but we created like a LLC, Paradise Dream Developments was our company we started.
Nice.
And we did the first deal. But I was making sure that I flew up to see
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And Mana was pretty much handling everybody, right? The GC and managing the whole project. So it took, I think, about 9 months
Okay.
from start to finish. And we're all in like 165. Yeah, I still got like everything, in file,
Yeah.
like how much we spent, and then we ended up selling the property for like 265. Even when that lava flow, like 3 lava flows ago,
Was going.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
or 4, I think. And it was 2014 or 15,
Right.
Wow.
Right.
and even had the huge storm too.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah,
all the
yeah,
albizu
yeah.
trees
Yeah.
dropped down on
Yeah.
the roads in Pohoa.
Yeah.
Right.
And during that time, we're thinking, "Oh my God, we're not gonna be able to sell this thing."
Yeah.
But it sold.
It sold.
Nice. Yeah. That's awesome.
Has it been? So that was your first deal. Have you seen? Is it still that easy to sell houses up there? Is there still a buyer's market
Yeah.
or a pool of buyers?
So if you put it into perspective, like a piece of crap house on Oahu, piece of crap house on Kauai or Maui is like $1 million.
Yep.
Yep.
And brand new houses at $350 to $550, brand new on like land.
Yeah.
So, and then there's still a need, right, for whether you got a rent or you purchase. So even though I think the interest rates is higher, it's still at a rate people still can afford.
I agree.
And then with all the
Yeah.
different buybacks and all these different ways, for the buyers to get to purchase the houses, I
Yep.
think.
Yeah.
So like I haven't had any issues selling the houses from get go. Like all the houses have sold.
That's great.
It's just the price, right? So
Yep.
depending on like before I go into any project, I always look at my homework. Like I know the end number for what per square foot we need to build in that neighborhood,
Right.
and the land price is where it makes the purchase of the land price needs to make sense. If it's too high, then I decide to find something else.
Right.
Right? The buy is always where you make the decision if it's a go or not.
Yep.
And then the build cost kind of follows wherever you go. It's the same because we build per square foot the same all the way around, right?
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Love that.
yeah.
So then it just took off from there. You did your first one.
Yeah,
And then,
so the first one, then, of course, when we sold that first one, the Frank and Cheryl flipped the money into another one.
Yeah.
You know, and then they went and bought a couple more properties. Then I bought my own, and I did one on the side with Mana. And while those were going, the one I did with Mana, I bought the property in like Ainaloa, I think. Like it's like 25, 30 minutes from the airport.
Yeah.
And the association there now is a lot better. Before, like, it was kind of a rough
was
neighborhood.
hard. Oh, okay.
It's a lot of drugs, and you know, people
Yeah.
didn't care. So, but now, like, all the streets are being cleaned up
Oh, nice.
because of the association that
Yeah.
that
Right.
is there. And so my first deal was on Emerald Drive. I bought the lot for like $9,000. You know, because I had a job, so I
Yeah.
was saving
Yeah.
money.
Yeah.
Right.
And I was like, dude, quarter acre for like, I think I bought it for $8,000.
No brainer.
Wow.
Like,
Yes, please.
Yeah,
I'm used
I'll
to,
take
like,
it.
growing up, I bought and sold cars in high school. So I was like, dude, this thing is like,
Yeah.
so I bought it.
Yeah.
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 I told Mana, I got this lot, right? How much you can do it for? Like, how much can we build a house?
Yeah.
He said, like, yeah, I could probably do it for $100,000. I was like, what?
What?
I was unheard of. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, let's do it. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
what happened was I think Michael and Angela Gregg turned me on to this company called Lencred.
Okay.
And Lencred is a company that helps you get lines of credit and credit cards.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when I signed up with those guys, they got me like 13 or 14 credit cards.
There you go.
And with that, I used those cards to fund the deal,
Oh, nice.
right? And
Yeah.
Yeah.
no joke, like I had like
We
13
know
or
all
14
about that.
Yeah.
and I made it, or I made it known to the subs that we were hiring, the contract and the subs, that we needed to pay with the Apple Pay thing, like.
Yeah.
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 And
Yeah.
they agreed. So
Oh, nice.
everything went well until like after the roof went up. I guess we had some type of disagreement with Mana, and that's where I had to grow some cojones and finish the project, because he went on and
He went on.
Oh
his own
wow.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And from that time on, it like, okay, so like I
you
got
s-
thrown to the wolves. I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
what,
yeah, yeah.
what do I gotta
I
do?
gotta figure it out.
Yeah.
So the contractor that we had on the project, I flew up there more. I was a little bit more stressed because I didn't know, much. I didn't know what to do, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew that he could kind of help
Right.
with the different subs.
Right.
I had the painter's background because I knew.
Right.
So anyway, we ended up parting ways on that project, and then the other ones we had together, that kind of folded. But the Frank and Cheryl, and Mana, them kind of separated. Then after that project was
Got
sold.
it. Yep.
Mana had, my hat goes off to him because he taught me.
A lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Totally.
even though that it didn't work and our goals didn't align,
Yeah.
I still appreciate him coming.
Totally.
Like the stuff that I
Yeah.
learned from him was just,
Yeah.
Unreal.
Totally.
like for the rest of my life,
Yeah.
like his name's gonna be in my head because
Yeah.
this is what I'm doing because of him
Yeah.
Right.
and my hard work. But anyway, like, so the credit cards came to 12 months.
Yeah.
Right? It's
Now
like,
you
oh
got
my
to come
God.
up with payments.
But luckily,
Interest.
Yeah, the
I had
interest.
these other projects going, right?
Yeah.
With
Yeah.
with the other projects to be able to cover the monthly payments, because
Yeah.
it was starting to get like heavy. So I ended
Yeah.
up losing money, like $40,000 on that project. But that was paid
Yeah.
off, so that
Yeah.
but the house sold.
Yeah.
Like 185 or something, 189. But Mana's brother was the one who stepped up to the plate, and his brother-in-law helped me to take it to the finish line
Finish
Oh,
it
wow.
off.
and sold it.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I drive by, when I'm up there, I'm like, oh, God, there's the house there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I
my
learned my
lesson.
lesson.
Yeah. That's my lesson.
That's
We all
the
have
only
those
one
houses.
that we lost, or I learned had
Yeah.
a learning lesson off
Right,
of. The
right,
rest
right.
has been success. Like every
crazy.
single one that we've put on the market, we've sold.
Right.
And short, like before this recession or whatever we're going through,
Yeah.
before the thing even was like finished, we already had people lined up,
To buy
to
them.
purchase.
Yeah.
Even though when we put it on the market, if they were people weren't in line, 1 week
Sold.
It's amazing.
Was, gone. So.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And mostly local families,
Yeah.
or are there investors trying to buy them to like build
No.
portfolios or anything? No.
So like I know there's a lot of them who were locals.
Yeah.
Majority of them.
Yeah.
Like, they came from Maui, Kauai, Honolulu, and they used it. A lot of them used the USDA loan where
Yeah.
they didn't have
First
to put
time. Yeah.
anything down.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
the 500.
Yeah.
Right.
Earnest money and that's it.
Yeah.
Nice.
So like in the areas that we was building, majority of was either VA or USDA.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah,
Right.
Nobody had conventional loans because the interest rates were so low back just
Super
about
low,
like
sub
6 months
3.
ago, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
6 months ago.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And
But-
historically,
crazy.
they're still low,
But
but it's a
now,
huge
yeah.
shock for people.
Now still like we had 3 we built side by side across the street. Of course, get curricular activities.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I know what they're doing.
Yeah,
Right.
But still, local families. We have 3 in a row. We got them in escrow at like $330
It's great.
each, but then we gave $10,000 credit,
Yeah.
and they're appraising at like $365.
So they're
So,
walking
like,
they're
into
walking
equity.
with equity.
even
Crazy.
and then we looking at maybe profiting on each about like I don't know $60K each still.
So good.
That's great.
Yeah.
And the market got to drop that much more for us to break even.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Yeah.
like for me, even if me and my partners make like 20 grand, like 10, like it's still a win.
Yeah.
If you don't
Yeah,
lose
yeah,
money
yeah.
and you're
Right.
able to help people, it's still a win.
And then not only that too, like if we got to hold them, the rental market there is still
It's strong,
strong.
too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you built up any rental portfolio for yourself?
Yeah, so I think I have one that was handed down to me from my grandparents in Kona, and that one's doing really well. That's kind of like an ATM machine.
Yeah.
Love it.
It's an old house. They bought it like 40, 50 years ago
Yeah.
for like 40 grand.
Super
Wow.
cheap. Yeah.
But it's like in the heart of Kona.
Yeah.
And then I have like four more in Hilo.
Nice. Yeah. So are they ones that you built and then kept? Like you
One of 'em-
refinanced out?
One of them I built and kept.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And then the others is my profits from my projects bought, fixed up, and then rented
Rented
out.
out.
Like burned
Love
it.
that.
Yeah.
So then I refinanced to build.
And were those like full burrs? Were you able to get
Yeah.
all your money? That's
Not full. I did 50% cash out
Yeah.
because I wanted my mortgage to be lower,
Yeah.
but still like cash flow coming.
Yeah.
And then that the 50% cash out was still enough for me to build.
Yeah,
Keep flipping
that's
that money.
amazing.
Yeah.
Build a new house, right?
Yeah.
And
Right.
so I can do like 2 or 3 on my own a year.
Is that your plan? Like
Yeah.
keep 2 or 3 and then sell
Yeah.
the rest?
So right now I'm working on a 6-bedroom layout. We just bought 2 properties, me and my wife, and kind of got this layout from the Pink Store in Waianae.
Yeah.
I fixed across. There's a blue house right next.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
there was a guy Kimo. I don't know if you know Kimo Blaisdell.
Why is that
Kimo.
so familiar?
Yeah, why is that
Sounds so
And so I
familiar.
met Kimo and Kina. I think Kina was the one who brought that deal to him, and then I was the contractor to
Oh,
help
okay.
fix the place. So.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
But anyway, that house was like 6-bedroom, was like a duplex, was just holy piece of crap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that layout, I asked Kimo, hey, can I take that layout? So right now I'm working on doing that. We got the land already, and then the planning
Yeah.
is already through. So yeah, like even if like these outside like KC and all these other places, there's still opportunity for buy and holds.
Yeah. Here.
If the opportunity presents itself, like
Right.
it's still here. Like Big Island has like a plane ride over to
Yeah.
deal
Yeah.
with your tenants or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the good thing is I have like my mom's the property manager or property managers for me.
Oh, that's great.
Nice.
So I don't have to stress. She's stressed, but she calls me too. Oh, you gotta do. So far, it's been good. Like
Good.
Section 8, like single mom,
Yeah.
and then Simote's sister them is staying in one of the houses.
Oh, nice.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like maybe 3 years ago, I had a conversation with you. I mean, our whole thing is like, we understand that fixing and flipping is very active, come and go income, right? Like you don't build like true generational wealth
No.
from fix and flip, right?
It's a glorified job,
Yeah,
and it's a very stressful one.
You make big chunks of money, but then they go. Like that's just how it is. So we knew early on that we needed to own and hold real estate in order to really build wealth. And because
it's the
we're
ATM that you're talking about,
because
we
we're
need our
born
own
in
ATMs.
because we're born and raised here, we want to own
Properties
houses
here.
Yeah, here though. You know what I mean? Like we know that you can buy property that cash flows in like other areas on the mainland, but because of our connection to this place, it was like, I want to own property here. Yeah. And so we realized that was one of the last places where you could actually own something and still cash flow and it makes sense and build that up. So I guess my question to you would be, what do you think Hilo is just going to continue to be developed, and then like a lot of people, I mean, jobs are going to start coming up, and you know what I mean? Like, where do you see Hilo headed?
Man, I tell you, Hilo's is just like a hidden gem, you know.
Yeah.
A lot of people are afraid because, of course, Pele, right?
Yeah.
Like, they don't know,
Right.
but you know, it's still affordable. Like, I know I've read that Donald Trump and Oprah Winfrey was saying that Puna is like the untapped place in Hawaii, you know.
Wow.
So whoever bought back then all on the ocean side, the cliffs, back then was so cheap.
Yeah.
Like now, you know, the prices are like up
Getting
there.
up there.
Yeah, and it's not going to stay like that, you know. Of course, you know, we're doing this, people were like, oh my God, we got to go Big Island.
Yeah,
But it's not that easy
but
either.
It took me a while to put together my own team there.
Yeah.
Right? The struggles, dealing, you know, everybody has struggles with, even on Oahu, doing fix and flips, right?
Yeah, big time.
So, you know, even if you're coming from Oahu, now you got to know the system, the DPP, how they
Every
work.
system's different.
And it's not dirt, right? It's all blue rock.
Yeah.
So when you clearing the land, right, it's different from Oahu.
Right.
And like Oahu is all houses, so there's no raw land.
Right.
Like,
Yep.
so you're dealing with raw land instead of like what we deal on Oahu or the different islands.
I wanna talk about two things. One, the like kind of go through the specific process. Like you get a lot and it's just jungle or whatever it is, right? How do you take it from there to build? And then after that, let's talk about what your team looks like.
Okay, solid. So you got to remember too, like I'm not going into up to Big Island and buying this huge chunk of land and subdividing it and making it like as a huge developer.
Got it.
So I'm going into neighborhoods that's already have been subdivided since like the 50s or 60s, right? So I'm not that type of you know, developer.
Right.
But my development mine is, of course, to give back, you know, build one house at a time or as much as I can to give back to our local families. So
Right.
we're, you know, it's not like I would say like, there's other older people that is developing in that area, right? And subdividing, but it takes super long
time, yeah.
Right, and with this system that I have, it's just basically you pick out the lots if they fit the number or the criteria, you buy it, and then you route the plans.
Yep.
And then you plan to build, right?
So you're not clearing jungle.
Oh, well, each lot like has you know, like has forest, right?
Yeah.
Trees and shrubs.
Yeah.
So we gotta knock them down.
Knock them down, yeah.
But in this neighborhood, like, it's surrounded by, you know, the forest.
Right.
Like,
Right.
There's a forest reserve, and
Yeah.
I guess the state not going to allow people to, you know, knock them down, or
Right.
they ain't going to build. So, but in like the areas that I'm, you know, kind of building is like Ainaloa, Hawaiian Paradise Park, Volcano, Mountain View.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's very, you know, green.
Yeah.
But in order to get rid of all of that, it costs money
Yeah.
to clear the land.
I gotta actually talk to you before you tell me about your team. I got a lead in Ainaloa
Okay.
yesterday.
There you go. There's our team. That's how we're gonna.
And it's raw land. It's raw land,
There
and
you
they're
go.
looking to sell
That's
it.
how
so
we're gonna
that's like-
partner.
maybe we buy that one together. But, yeah. What does your team today look like?
Oh yeah, my mom. Thank you, mom. Doing for my mom.
Shout out,
to
Mom.
Shout
Can't
out,
do
Mom.
it without
Everything
family.
in this, sometimes I'm snappy with her. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry for blowing up. And my wife, of course, right?
Yeah.
Is been there since day one. Yeah, we've butted heads a lot, but she's the backbone of the vision that I have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my team basically goes from start to finish. Partners who have money.
Yep.
Me. We have the general contractor, which is my partner Simote Lolo. He lives on Oahu, and we're like, grew up best friends.
Yeah.
His license is put up there to to get the permits.
Yeah.
Right.
So from there we have our architect or draftsman. Then we route the plans through them, and then from there we've got our slab guy or bulldozer guy. In fact, sorry, the pin finder. You got to find your
Yeah, your lot
because on the
lines.
Big Island, most of the people when they're selling lots, the sellers usually the majority of the time they don't pay for the
Survey. You gotta do them.
So we pay for it, right?
Yeah,
The buyers. Hopefully that changes, but I
Yeah,
don't think
no.
it's gonna change.
Right.
So that's the first thing we do, and then but before we do that, ninja tip is once we get that purchase contract, we already know what houses we're gonna build in the area, so we route our plans with our draftsman. And
While
Oh,
it's in
wow.
escrow.
yeah,
Nice. Yeah.
while we're in escrow, we try and stretch it as much as we can because the permit process takes about 3 to 6 months.
Okay.
So we try and stretch the.
Which is great compared to Oahu.
Yeah, we already know, like, okay, this is a lot we're going to purchase, but I let my agent know, like, can we stretch it out for like 60 days?
Right.
As
Like
far as we
stretch
can.
out
Yeah,
the
so
purchase.
right when
So
you close, you can
close,
start.
you can
Right.
start
'Cause
shortly
the
after.
planning process, like I said, like once hey, we got the TMK, here's the purchase contract. For them to route the plans, that takes like a couple weeks, right? Because
Yeah.
we might be in line
Yep.
from others that they're routing. So,
Are they still E-plans? Are they E-plans
Or
at Big
they-
Island?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
but it's not as busy as it is on Oahu.
Yeah.
Does it not having the deed hold up your plans? Because that's held up some of our plans. Sometimes when we start early in escrow, they're like, "Well, I need the deed." Yes and no.
So the purchase contract can get over there. You can get it through.
Right.
that's
Once
good.
you close, then
Then
the
you gotta
deed,
you gotta give it to them, but
Yeah.
they're doing all of everything they can do, right?
I do like not much people are doing. Like I don't think much people are thinking like I am. 'cause
Right,
I'm
right.
Like okay, what is this system? How can I make it better?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And if I can stretch this, the purchase part a little bit longer,
Yeah.
at least I'm that much ahead.
Yeah. From
know.
you when
And
you
then
close.
while, like my thing is like, okay, I'm buying 5 more properties here, routing the plans already.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a
Yeah.
Yeah.
whole system, right?
That's
And-
awesome.
But I'm gonna start like trying to post out private money lenders to help like at a lower percentage rate because like at 12 is kind of high
Yeah.
for the waiting period, right? So
Yeah.
to go out and purchase land now and lock it up before it goes up.
Starts going up. Yeah.
Because I say within the next year or two, it's gonna jump even more.
Wow.
I see that happening
Yeah.
because I've been doing this for like 10 years, like 9-10 years there,
Right.
Yeah.
and every year the cost has gone up.
It's jumping up.
Not only that, there's other builders like, oh man,
Catching
let's go
on.
over there,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and go do the same thing that these other guys are doing. But
Right.
but that crash though, like the lots, like I think like 2008,
Yeah.
like the lots were like 100 grand, 80, 60, 100
Oh,
grand
really?
back then.
Yeah.
And then it dropped,
Just
right?
dropped all the way
Around,
down.
Like 2010, 11, 12,
Yep.
to like where we were when we got involved, 2013, 14, and then it
Went
just
back
recently
up.
went back up.
Starting to go back up. Yeah.
So I don't know if it's gonna come down halfway
Yeah,
or what. But
right
right
now.
now, the prices is staying steady
Yeah.
at like 80, 90 grand in
Yeah.
Hawaii
Yeah.
Paradise Park. So, but then once we get those plans in, I'm already prepped for the dozer guy.
You're like ready
Yeah.
to go.
Pin guys there. Once we close, dozer's ready.
Wow.
Clears the lot or excavator. Already got them that same people digging the septic. The form guys doing the concrete. They're already like all on schedule.
Right.
So you guys, you're acting as a GC,
Yeah.
and you're bidding everything out with subs.
Well, the subs are like if we're doing the same house, everything's the same
The
price.
same,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
We just
And
agree.
they're
We
just
So you
yours.
know your
they only
costs,
work,
yeah.
but they only work for you, right? Is that how it works? Or
No, there's
oh, okay.
yeah.
They work.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But you're their regular.
I'm not. I'm busy, but I'm not busy
Enough. Right.
to keep.
To
Because
keep
the
them
process,
full-time.
yeah, you just gotta be able to have the patience to deal with, the subs that you keep repeating yourself over and over and over.
And the perseverance, yeah.
And just kind of who else can you replace, like, because there's only a certain amount of people that have that skill
Yeah.
to get the stuff done. So sometimes it's like they know that too, right? So they
Right.
know what they're worth.
Their
Yeah.
value
Their
to
value.
you. Yeah.
And they know that you need them, you know.
Right.
Yeah. That's what it is.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
And once you start giving that to them, and I've gotten taken advantage of for that, like, and it's like, wow, bro, are you gonna do me like
Yeah.
that?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's why I no longer work with some of the people that came on board. I definitely keep people busy.
Right.
It went from like 1 or 2 a year to like 10 to 12 projects, and then now it's like, oh,
What are you
What am
doing
I
now?
doing?
Yeah.
like holy crap, so I'm definitely working on systematizing everything so that I can delegate certain things to get my time back.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you have 25 projects right now. Around
Well,
25.
20 right active. The 5 is either
Selling or buying.
or in escrow.
Yeah. Yeah. And so, how many times are you flying back and forth
He
to
said
Hilo?
3 times a week.
Yeah, so
3
I
times a
fly
week.
usually. I get up there like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And get up there, and as soon as I touch the ground, it's like pew, 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 all the way to like trying to get to the airport to just make my flight.
Yeah.
Back home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Can you ever foresee you not having to do that?
Yes.
Love that.
That's your goal,
So
right?
that's what you're trying to do now is systematize it to where
It's probably
maybe
not
you go
gonna,
out once or you slowly back it out, right?
Right,
No,
it-
2 times a week, then 1 time a
It's
week.
probably not gonna be exactly like how I do it. It's probably gonna be rough in the beginning
Yeah.
finding that right person.
Yeah.
Or that right person or what I'm willing to or my team is willing to give up for that position.
Right.
Because of course, the more money you pay somebody,
It's less you have in your pocket. Yeah.
less in my pocket, but less stress on
Yeah. And
Totally.
it's worth it.
But-
It's worth it.
to do 20 or 10 or 5, let alone just one, right? If
Right.
you don't have that experience or don't have a construction background,
Super hard.
yeah, it's tough. So just
Yeah.
trying to educate that person or hiring somebody that kind of knows what they're doing.
So you're trying to hire or find a qualified project manager,
Right.
essentially, that lives there, boots on the ground all the time.
And the thing too is like ordering material, right? There's
Yeah.
a lot involved with project managing.
Yep.
And for me, I gotta write everything down because
Yeah.
it's a long process for brand new builds. Flips, the house is already up.
Yeah.
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 Like
Totally.
brand new builds is a little bit more time consuming.
Mm-hmm.
Setting up the subs and then timing the material drop offs is
Right.
Gotta-
That scheduling, yeah.
you
is
gotta be
nuts.
on, and sometimes a week will go by, 2 weeks, and sometimes like projects before like 1 month will pass and like crickets, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in real estate,
Those-
a month is like a year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And
When is this
even
gonna
those
get
small, like 1 day, 2 day, 3 day,
Yeah.
they add up over
Oh
a
my gosh.
project's length.
People
you know
don't
what I mean?
understand
So,
that.
yeah.
Yeah. I always say like a month is like a year, a week is like a month, and a day is like a week, you know?
Yeah,
Legit.
totally.
It's so hard. And then to try and regain that momentum that you once had is hard sometimes.
Right.
It's very challenging, which is a good caveat into what you think your biggest challenge has been in the last, you've been doing this for 10 years.
Yeah.
What has been the biggest challenge you've had to overcome in your investing career?
Yeah, just telling subs, come on, clean up the rubbish, But then it's on my fault too, because I don't have a bin outside, right, for them to throw it. But even if like now I'm bringing the bin, they still miss,
Yeah.
or they're still leaving the trash, and like it's like, how can I relate this to them?
I don't know,
It's just
but if you ever do,
Let me know.
because that is the bane of our existence too.
A
Especially
dirty
my
job
wife's.
site. I don't get
do I
it.
have to like grab that rubbish, go to their house, and like
Give
throw
it to them.
throw
Yeah,
it
yeah.
on-
So
on
on
you
their
know how
ground.
it feels? Because,
Yeah.
I know.
I'm trying to be nice, right?
Yeah.
And I
I
have
gave
been,
up being nice already.
I have been, and the mean guy's starting to come out now, like after so long, right? Like,
Yeah, it's hard.
Like, it's not
Yeah.
acceptable. But it matters in so many different ways because at any point your private lenders can come to the property
Right.
and you want to put your best foot forward. It's your reputation as a business owner, as a property owner. It's so many things.
Well, it's hard
and people
because-
don't think that way.
That's it, right? And it goes back to like you have like a certain way of doing things
Right.
and a certain level and standard that you hold for yourself as a person.
Right.
And it's hard to find somebody that's going to feel that same way. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it just becomes a constant struggle. So let us know if you ever find what the answer
Well,
is.
Keone puts his rules,
well,
right?
Keone's stuff is insane. Like,
It is.
because I did work for Keone too, and
Yeah.
like his scope of work is so clear. Like,
Yeah.
I like, bro, Keone.
Yeah,
Nice.
shout
I
out.
I want to learn from you on that scope of work, but like the subs,
Yeah.
we just we or I have to get to their like the head of that sub
Yeah.
and have a meeting with all of them. Like, okay, this is the last time, and if this happens one more time, like I'm gonna
Yeah.
We're going to find somebody
someone
else.
that I'll pay them more.
Well,
Yeah,
that will
yeah,
listen
yeah.
to
You
me.
have to like
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
so that
Yeah.
I can relay that to them ahead of time and fix that.
I also
that
feel
issue.
like a clean and an organized job site at the end of each day helps with productivity.
Yeah.
It helps with the momentum. You know what I mean? It helps not have so much chaos, personally.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
I totally
I mean,
agree.
and my brother, I grew up watching my brother be in construction. And so, like, he always told me that you stop 30 minutes before the end of your
Right.
day and you clean up the job site.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why is it so hard to do?
Yeah.
You know what I
know.
mean?
Well, there's some guys. So maybe we just on that same path where we've had that issue with having a clean job site, but there's other job sites that's super clean. I'm like, oh, freaking
Yeah.
Yeah,
How do
yeah.
you do that? Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I've even said that I was going to hire somebody to come clean, go every day and clean up the job site at a certain time and then just take it out of their bid.
Yeah.
I've even threatened that. Like,
Yeah.
you know what
Yeah.
I mean?
I have been since day one. When I fly up there, I have my boxes of trash bags. Like I'm cleaning up.
Yeah.
I'm like, why am I
Why
doing this?
am I doing this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you
Yeah.
care,
Yeah,
ultimately.
I want my projects to be clean, and it's just like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna do it because nobody else
Yeah.
is going to.
Right.
Yeah.
And it falls back on you, right? In the end, it all
So,
falls back on us.
Managing subs has been the hardest part, biggest challenge you've had to overcome. Okay, so now flip it. Like, what has been your biggest success or your biggest triumph in your journey so far?
When I went from just using, so before I was doing the partners that came on, they just had cash, right?
Mm.
That works with the system because then I don't have to like do the
The
draws and all
Yeah,
that stuff.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
the money's there.
Yeah.
Right.
That was like a huge plus. But then in the back end, the leverage, you don't make as much, but at least it's secured. So that's the thing with what I'm doing. Like, I think my thought process using hard money was I didn't want to use it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when I did, that changed my perspective,
Got it.
right?
Yeah.
But with the interest rates going higher, now it's a little bit more tougher to do a brand new flip or a brand new build and with hard money because the interest rates is a little bit higher.
Yeah.
But it still works, but there's more pressure.
Right.
But the biggest takeaway was just this past, like last year, like we did 6 projects. I used Kiko Capital.
Right.
Thank you, Justin.
Shout out
and
Keiko.
Corey them. Corey
Yeah.
them.
Shout out Keiko.
And like we put up just under 50 grand to leverage 1.3 million.
Wow.
To fund our 6 projects, right? And we made about 100 something K profit on each 6. So I mean that was just huge.
So
Big
you were
time.
you were able to scale and do more and make more.
Right, and that's where I think where I learned this business from Mana and then the other people that's doing it, they're using their own money. Right?
Yeah.
And I was thinking like, shoot, we just keep
We
using
just do
our
that.
own money, right?
That's what they're doing. That's what we do.
But when I like, going back into my growing up when I used to, do drugs and stuff like,
Yeah.
and I was selling, like you buy it cheap and then you sell it for more. So
Right. Right.
it's the same thing. It's like a leverage thing that using hard money kind of just expanded my mind. But it's a little bit more stressful because you
got to do the draws.
Well, there's more
line.
hoops you got to
and
jump
the
through
timelines,
too. Yeah. And you
On
got to
the
request the
timelines.
money.
but everything went pretty successful because I was up there more like 5 days a week, right?
Oh,
to
yeah,
make
yeah,
sure
yeah.
it's like, okay.
That it was
everything
was getting done on
Yeah.
time.
And I was
yeah.
a little bit more harder on the guys, like, we got to get this done. We got to get this done. And we did. And right before this thing changed, the market changed, like our last property sat on the market for like 45 days, but then all of them sold, right?
Nice.
And then even though the ones we got now too that's going, we have like pretty much all 20 is hard money.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we're using like 3 different
Hard money lenders.
Kiko, Lima One, and House Lending.
Yeah. I've heard of all of them.
We've used House.
Yeah.
We've used House, yeah.
And Kiko.
Everyone has its own pluses.
They're all
minuses, but it's the draw. You just got to understand how to use that draw process. I understand it because I did so much, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So it's just being ahead of the game.
I feel like that's the hardest part, and it's not taught super well in
Right.
any education.
Let's
that
do a
we've
video
been.
about it.
We should. We
No,
totally
we should. Let's do that because people need to understand how to structure their draw and their scope.
Right, but then they also need to know that going into that project, they need that kitty.
Yep.
Right.
That
Up front.
going to help them get through it.
Keep
And sometimes
going.
need a little bit more.
Yep.
So you can keep it going for the wait process.
Yeah.
You gotta have the
You gotta front load that first draw. If you can front load that first draw
and raise
have
your
to.
down.
We always raise our down too.
Always
But
raise your deposit.
I think
to your
no one has
contractor.
done it yet because
It's
every
so hard to understand.
Well, it's hard to
though.
understand, but
Jeez.
and every draw process is different,
Yeah.
right? Like we're using, I think 4 different hard money lenders right now.
Essentially, it's all the same, but they're using their own forms. They do
They
things
have
a
their
little
own
bit
app.
different.
So this is what helped me.
Yeah.
So when I started with Kiko, I had to take that same application information, my numbers,
because
I'm building the same thing over and over, right?
Yep.
Just go copy and paste, boom, and
into their
into
form
theirs. But with your guys' ones is different
It's a
because
little
every project is
different.
the numbers is not the same.
And if you're using a different contractor,
Right,
there's slightly
right.
different nuances. So what I'm developing right now is basically similar to Fortune Builders when you like walk through and you
Right.
can do it, but with Hawaii
Nice,
prices.
the numbers,
Yeah. And then that way our numbers shouldn't fluctuate too much, especially if you have your set contractors and if you go with the guy that's the most expensive and you use his numbers, you know that you'll always be safe.
Right.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
And most of our, like, yes, every house is different, but we do mostly the same thing on every
Yeah.
house, right? Like, we're buying houses
Same
that,
colors, same
Yeah,
You know,
flooring.
like, our houses
Usually.
are bust up, right? Like, like, we need to do everything to these houses. That's
You-
just the kind that we buy. So
Yeah.
we can systematize it.
like we know a roof is going to cost this. We
Right.
know, on average flooring's going to cost this. You know, drywall's going to be like this. You know, windows are going to be this, so.
Yeah.
But we've done both where we've done your way where we like literally bid it and be the GC and that
Sub everything
sub
out.
everything out. And then I'm doing it the other way where I just pay the overage and the GC can do it all. They both have their
Yeah.
pros and cons,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I was just having a conversation with our project manager, who's also my brother-in-law, yesterday about potentially doing a project where he just manages the subs, because I feel like the GCs get complacent.
Yeah, because they're doing so much, right?
Yeah.
Have you ever thought about, and this is just because we've been thinking about it, starting your own contracting company?
I
'Cause
did.
you do it already.
I did, right? I did.
Yeah.
When I was working with the Griggs, we created a contracting company, and I was gonna go get my contractor's license, but I'm like, it's just another thing that I had to go like, okay,
I
go
know.
take the testing, but it's something that if we're going to stay in this business in the long run, like a construction company is like
It
hand
makes
in hand,
sense,
right?
right?
Yeah.
But because like I have a good, like we're like at the hip.
Yeah.
Yeah. So your
So,
partner.
like whatever, like I'll split whatever with him.
Yeah.
too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So like I'm him, he's me. I'm the like kind of like the RME, right,
Yep.
for him.
Yep.
And so we already got the construction company. But yes, I would say like if you guys can team up with a contractor that can maybe split equity or whatever it may be going
Yeah.
into the projects, then he understands. Okay, if I split equity with you guys,
Yeah.
shoot, I'm gonna make sure that all these projects gets
Right.
done.
Timeline,
Well,
quality,
and you're cutting your
skin in
costs
the
down
game.
overall, you
Yeah.
know, because our biggest expense is construction.
Right.
And you
Yeah.
actually know you're getting it at cost.
Just gotta find. How did you find you guys grew up together?
Yeah, we grew up together.
Yeah,
and,
see.
like I worked on projects with him because his dad was a contractor too,
Yeah.
right? So
Finding
in-
someone
in
you
high
can
school.
trust. Yeah.
Yeah, somebody that you can definitely trust, and they're not easy to find. The contractors are
I know.
good contractors. It's
Right,
tough
right.
to find, and guys that know what they're doing that actually can do the work. right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Like Simote knows his stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of like jack of all trades. I know just enough,
Mm-hmm.
and then I know the people that know that type of work
Right.
that's expert in it. So
Yep.
yeah, I
Yeah.
can
You leverage all of those
other people's
experts.
expert.
Yeah.
Like I can do a project even though I don't have the contractor license.
Right.
From
Right,
start
right.
to finish.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
So, what are you currently focusing on? Like, what is your goal for 2023? Because we're filming this in January of
Yeah.
2023.
2023. Well, finish off the projects that I've got right now. Whatever is adding on to my plate. See where that goes. Like I've got my personal ones that I'm doing. Just I don't see it going away. Like the brand new
Yeah.
builds. Like,
Yeah.
And then the for me to stop giving back to our community, like I cannot see myself doing that. So I think I foresee adding another 10 to 20, just depending on
Yeah.
funding, right? The
Right.
funding is always the issue.
Yeah.
Not issue, but just funding to like purchase the lots.
Yeah.
Once I can get the funding, we lock up the lots, and then the permitting process is pretty easy because we're building the same house.
Same
over.
house. Yeah. You
Yeah.
got a process
Yeah.
for that. Yeah.
And then the team be like, "Oh, okay, we got 10 more. Okay, cool." Like,
Yeah.
They're put at ease a little
Yeah.
bit. They,
Yeah.
Like the
But
security
know,
is like there.
yeah.
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 They know
They
got
know that their
jobs for the
paycheck
next
is coming.
10.
Yeah.
because then when the recession comes back, I mean, dude, it's gonna be even better because if their interest rates come lower, our hard money gonna be even that much better.
Yeah.
Because if it was like it was 6 months ago, like at 8 or 9%,
Yeah.
and just leverage the amount of money that we put up to get that much,
Right,
we
right,
can do
right.
more.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Way more.
Yeah,
So cool.
So yeah, so like 2023 just basically, and then not only that, I think I'm looking to get involved with like the commercial side, like apartments or
Nice.
you know,
Multifamily
In
stuff.
my money just
Hilo
put some money
or anywhere.
where
Yeah.
but if can, like, you know, looking for like duplex, you know, fourplexes.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
In the islands, you know, I
Yeah.
want to kind of look in the islands.
Right.
Oahu is a good place. Like
Yeah.
Waipahu have a beach.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Certain areas that might have opportunities.
Right.
Totally. Totally. So what kind of marketing are you doing right now? Is it all just
Yeah, how
word
do
of
you find your
mouth?
lot? How do you
lots?
get your deals?
I just buy them off MLS.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. MLS.
I have not. I have marketed before,
Yeah.
but I stopped because I got a deal, and then I'm like,
You're off
this
to the
is enough.
races,
Like
yeah.
I'm like, holy crap! Just that one. I guess Google AdWords, right? I
Yeah.
posted something, and I got a phone call, talked to the lady, and was able to purchase the house. And I'm like, holy crap, that just paid for it. But I stopped my marketing, you know, 'cause so I just been going off of basically finding lots that's on the MLS and just
Yeah.
putting lower offers, and you know, been blessed to get those offers accepted.
Right.
Yeah.
And I know it's going to be tougher, you know, to find more properties, because if more and more people is doing
More
it,
and
now
more
I gotta
people
go-
coming in. Yep.
I gotta go find people that, you know, wholesalers. Like Stacy sent me one that I purchased off of her.
Yeah.
Nice.
But I think the one that I purchased off of her is going towards kind of like a nonprofit thing, where there's the thing like they have out in Waianae with, what is her name, Twiggy, or what is the lady out there, the boat harbor?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
okay.
I don't remember her name. She was just at my dad's thing.
You know.
Yeah, so there's a nonprofit that donated monies to put housing, you know,
Yeah.
homeless.
Right,
So
right, right.
The land that Stacy gave to me, I'm working with Hawaiian Community Assets and Hawaiian Community Lending, and then the Oista Corp, who donated $25K towards the project.
Oh wow.
And I'm going to try and build these little pods.
Oh,
and
nice.
So cool.
Get some, you know, kupuna that's
Yeah.
homeless in
Inside.
Hilo.
In
Yeah.
Hilo?
And,
Wow, that's
you know,
cool.
try-
That is so
How did you get hooked up
cool.
with that?
How do you do more of that?
Shoot, so a good friend of mine, Scotty Reese Moniz from like the Waimanalo Canoe Club,
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah.
he put me in touch with the 8 Hawaiian Community Assets. And then from there, you know, I had the P&L and all the stuff that they had asked for to get lines of credit
Right,
for
right,
my
right.
business.
Yep.
Mm.
So they lend to local businesses as
Oh, no
well,
way.
Hawaiian Community Lending.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
And but from there, like Jeff put me in touch with the Oista Corp, who came over and seen what I've been, you know, me and my team has been doing,
Yeah.
and they loved what we're doing. They was like, oh, we wish we could give more. I said, you know what, anything
Anything
helps.
helps.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
But
Totally.
my story with Stacy was she could have sold that property for way more, but I sent I emailed her a letter saying this is what I
I'm
plan
doing.
to do.
Yeah.
And it's still in the works. It's just a little bit tough because the nonprofit that's up there, they don't want to share what they did, like to do what they did when the lava came, right, in Pahoa.
Right.
So like they built these shelters for in 2 or 3 days, right?
Wow.
And but they really don't want to share. I'm not sure if they think I'm competition.
Yeah.
Or what it is.
Which is
Yeah,
not.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
still trying
Normally.
to learn that process, but I'm keeping the land just for that. So it's 3 acres
Right.
with city water, so we
Oh,
don't
wow.
have to have water catchment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the front acre and a half, I'm looking to put the counseling, like the main office, right, and then
Right.
the pods,
Yeah.
either community bathrooms, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the back acre and a half is gonna be like where they can grow we'll have animals, goats, sheep, whatever, cows, and then fruits and vegetables, right?
So the
to-
nonprofit
that's so
would
cool.
rent that from you.
Well, the state, right?
Oh, the state.
The state will grant money or lease money
Yeah.
to pay for to run the whole system, and
Yeah,
then
yeah, yeah.
But not only that, when they get back on their feet, they got the counselors there, and then
Yep.
in the back, they can grow the like vegetables,
Yeah,
yeah.
fruits,
grow
and
whatever.
like animals.
But
Yeah.
you're not gonna manage that
No,
whole
no.
operation.
No,
You're
no.
just building it.
I'm trying to see who would want to get involved with
Yeah,
that,
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
that land is there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I actually got part of the money to purchase from Stacy was from Hawaii Community Lending. So I'm paying interest on that right now,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
5%.
yeah. Yeah.
But the longer it takes, if I can't do it, I'm gonna have to do something.
Yeah,
with
you
the
got to
property.
figure it out.
Totally.
Yeah. I mean, that's
I love
interesting.
that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's like
Super
the
cool.
concept of the what they did on Nimitz.
Yeah, the one that my
Oh, yeah.
dad them did.
You know,
I passed that. I was like, holy, yeah, that
yeah.
it's similar,
Yeah,
right?
that was-
It's
Same
like these
thing.
little pods,
Yeah.
but like they're
looked like they added more
they
onto
did.
the
They're
side.
adding more,
They-
and then
they
they have
are.
they actually have like a daycare or a school. They have like a health center.
a
And
whole
maybe Dad be
center.
interested in taking a
Yeah.
look at that property, the land. Basically the funds I have right now that got donated. A grant that was given to me, is just going to go straight to the process, right?
Yeah,
You should
yeah,
hit up
yeah.
Hawaii Community Foundation
Okay.
with Michael Kane.
Yeah, my dad would like.
But like
I think my dad would.
they fund
Right.
and Harry and Weinberg
And it's-
Foundation, they fund stuff like
The
that.
location is unique. I mean, there's neighbors, right? But the lot is so big where there's enough room for
Yeah,
plenty stuff.
and
Yeah.
then in between Mountain View and Curtistown.
That's
and it's
perfect.
off
Yeah.
the main road, but not on the main road, but like
yeah,
couple
Yeah,
lots
yeah,
in.
yeah.
Yeah, super cool.
Dude, you're on to something there. That's super, super cool.
And then-
Well, I know who, like Scotty Reese Moniz, is a friend of mine. He works with Auntie Blanche in Waimanalo, so she has that property in
Yeah.
the back, and she does stuff for the local
They're
community.
Yeah.
building back there.
They are.
Yeah, yeah. My
Yeah.
dad
Yeah.
talked about her too.
She's awesome.
recently.
Like, all I hear is good stuff about her.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right.
Me too.
I've yet to meet her in person
Mm.
and kind of see how she runs her deal over there.
Yeah.
And she's all about the community and
Yeah, she went for it.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah,
like,
she
oh, you
did.
guys aren't gonna let me do it. I'm just gonna do
I'm
it.
just
And
gonna
they
do
just
it.
started
Yeah.
building, and now the
So-
state's starting to come
Right.
around. They're
And
like,
I think she works with the CNHA people,
Yep.
right?
Mhm. Yep.
CNHA, Scotty Reese Moniz is part of that as well, because what they do is whether you're coming out of school, right, like rascal kid,
Yeah.
you can go get a job with them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Painter,
Yeah.
carpenter, all
Yeah.
those, like they'll get
Trades,
you in
yeah,
trade.
vocational.
Yeah.
And then not only that, like even older people, right? So like guys that's coming off the street that
Yeah.
need work, they have that program too in Waimanalo, like
Yeah.
with Auntie Blanche.
Love
and
that.
everything.
Yeah.
So
I gotta figure out how to do more of that. I would love to support that in some way.
so I think
Yeah.
the thing is finding out, because the state has plenty land, right? So the one in Kolaiah, I know that's leased land.
mm,
So they lease it for like say $10 a month to those people that
Yep.
that is running that nonprofit. So I think it's
Yeah.
just finding the right location that the state is willing to let go.
to let you lease the
Yeah.
land. Yeah, and it's for that cause. So
Right.
like, there's incentive for the state to do it.
Yeah.
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 Yep. All right.
Let's go. My brain's turning now.
I know.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're almost wrapped up.
We're almost wrapped up. A
Yeah.
couple more questions. I
No
think,
problem.
what would you tell somebody who came from a similar background as you that wants something more for themselves, but, like is hitting a wall mentally or is hitting a
Right.
wall with the support that they have? Like, what would you tell that person? Because you're proof that it can be different.
Right. Yeah, it's a mindset, right? It's where your heart is. I had a drug issue, I had an alcohol issue, and it ran my life.
Yep.
I had many, bottoms that I hit throughout like intermediate and high school and even after high school. So there is help
Yeah.
if you want it.
Yeah.
Because I went through like 2 or 3 rehabs. Each one I learned different things to deal with my addiction, right?
Yeah.
But it really like there's rooms, right? The AA, NA, and stuff like that. But for me, those didn't work for me.
Yeah.
It had to be from inside me that, okay, I hit this bottom, and is this really what I wanted?
Yeah.
And the question, that question, what I answered to that was just no, and a person like for me to go to jail for that amount, like I went for 87 months, right? It gave me that time to reflect, and it's crazy. But I didn't go like the recidivism or the
Recidivism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The rate,
Like
yeah,
going
yeah.
back.
rate going back
Is high normally.
It's
It's
like
super high.
65 or 75%, right? And
Yeah.
when I came out, I mean, I was trying to get a job, right? And nobody wanted to hire.
Yeah.
And luckily, my that the window cleaning job popped up because one of the guys I was locked up with helped to get that. But
Right.
the money is easy, right? If you in that world, so
Yeah.
it's easy to go backwards. And,
Yeah.
Just not trying to, just stopping that communication with those people
Yeah.
that
Just
it's
cutting
not,
it
they're
off.
not your friends.
No.
No.
They're just the drug world is just a whole nother. Just goes like that.
Yeah.
The black hole.
Fast.
Real
Yeah.
fast. And but yeah, there's help. Like there's help. If they want to call me, like I've been through a lot too, so
Yeah.
or contact me. And there's counselors. There's the state will pay for the help. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yep.
but like just finding out your why. I guess that's kind of like for me when I figured out, okay, this is my why.
Mm-hmm.
Then things just changed.
Changed.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, because I think you have a unique story that will help just like a lot of people. Like
Tons.
I mean, we
Tons.
share very similar
We're
stories.
local kids, right? Kailua, Waimanalo, Waianae, like drugs is everywhere.
Rampant.
And
Yeah.
it's so easy to get and easy to make money, right? And if
Yeah.
you're on that side, but using it is the worst,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Not only that, but even if you're on the selling side, you're hurting families,
Other people.
right?
Yeah.
That's what people don't see.
Yeah.
Right.
I didn't see it. Like it's like somebody else is gonna sell it anyway, right? So
Right.
it doesn't matter. Like I that's how I thought before, but I didn't see it from where I see it now.
No.
Like
Yeah.
looking at all the people that's living on the beach or walking around, like, because my cousins, like, you see my cousins, it's like, holy crap.
Yeah.
And was from the abuse and drugs, right?
Right.
Not the same people like they were before.
Yeah.
It's so common. I mean, around the United States, around the world, but specifically in Hawaii, there's one in every family usually, you know what I mean? Or somebody who knows somebody, or it's in your immediate family. I mean, just at this table, we've all been affected by that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
I think you're right with the mindset too, though.
Yeah.
Like, right? Like once a lot of people, you don't know what you don't know, right? So if you're in a circle or a family that has some of these issues, you don't know any other way, right? Like
Right.
that's just the path that you're gonna go on. Like this is normal, and
Right.
so
Yeah.
you don't even understand that there's other things out there and other possibilities. Like now, what you're doing now,
Right.
you know what I mean? Like you didn't fathom being able to do this, right?
No.
So it takes a lot of work to open your eyes. Like stopping the drug use, that's a lot. That's hard work, right?
Yeah.
And that's the first step. But
and
like
more men like you guys that have come from a past that are now doing something positive, speaking out about it and showing other people that they can do it.
is how that is shown. right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you just gotta find, like, to me, is if you have an issue with drugs, right, and you want to stop, like, there's help. Like, there is help.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
There's
Like,
not a lack of
There's
resource.
no question there's help.
Yeah.
You can get the help. Like, just looking at me in the eyes right now, I'm telling you that you can get help because I got the help, and there's people that surround that will help you.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's just you gotta want
Inside.
that.
But you have to
help.
want
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And it's not gonna be an easy road because the addiction is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not easy to stop, and even I still have family members that still in that circle
Right.
that can't get out, like
Yeah.
or have a hard time quitting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I love them. We just still love them no matter what. But can't. What they say, can't teach an old dog new tricks or something,
Yeah.
right?
Yep. Yep.
Or
Yeah,
like
you
you
gotta-
can't,
You can try,
you
but
can take the horse to water, but you can't force
Right.
them to drink.
It's gonna
Right.
be like that person's decision to want to change and make a better life for themselves.
Totally.
Mm-hmm.
Totally. Yeah. So
Yeah.
what do you, I'm gonna ask you two more questions. One is, so brand new investor, he's coming into the space, wants to get into like ground up development. Like, what would you tell that person to do?
You know, whatever programs are out there is helpful, but they're costly, right? I mean,
Yeah.
and YouTube is not gonna do it.
No.
No.
But just seeing how you can add value to someone like me or you guys,
Yeah.
even if you're not getting paid to do some of the stuff, but kind of starting off as an intern, like how I did working with the Gregs, and willing to put up whatever my own time to, do whatever it took to be able to learn from them, is what I can, give advice to someone
Yeah.
that's new coming in. Whether it's like, so say I need to go pick up some type of material and maybe, hey, you available? Okay,
Yeah,
Right.
you go
pick
do
it
it.
up.
Yeah.
Like just kind of tell someone that's doing what you want to do.
Love that.
Be
Yeah.
like how you what do you say? I forget the joke. I was gonna tell you a joke, but I forget the joke.
Well, I've noticed, like, listening to your story today, that you found those people throughout your journey. People that you could attach to and add value to, and then they taught you. So,
Yeah.
like, there was, like,
Yeah.
4 different people on your journey that you kind of did that with. So,
Right.
like, that is such a good way to get started, There's so many people that want to get into the real estate space. My best advice is always just that. Like,
Right.
you got to surround yourself with people that
He's doing
you
it.
want to be like, right, that are doing it,
Yeah.
and then see how you can add value to those people. If you do those two things consistently, you will be successful.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like growing up, my grandparents, they were always givers, right? Majority of the time, like, or almost 100% of the time, we're always like giving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, we receive, but majority is always giving value to other people and not expecting anything in return is how I kind of run my show.
Yep.
Even though we getting taken advantage of with my kindness and stuff, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay because in the long run, it's gonna pay off.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Comes
people
back
gonna
to you.
see your, like I was saying at that event, you brand yourself no matter what.
Yeah, I
no
love
matter
that
what.
you
No matter
said
what.
that.
Whether you're
Pace
intentional
Morby, Pace
about it
Morby,
or
bro.
not.
What he said was huge. Like,
Yeah,
hey, you
no,
branding
it's
yourself.
huge.
Well, even if you're not on social media, the way you speak to people, you talk to people watching.
People
right?
are watching all the
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
cool.
I love that. So if you could go back to the beginning, what's one thing you would do differently, if anything?
Oh man, like everything kind of went how it was supposed to.
Oh,
you
it's
know,
100%.
Because I dove in like and did everything basically for free. Like,
Yeah.
and I still do stuff for free. That's like, and going in though, I didn't have the money, right? I was out of prison for like I got out in 2007, so I started in
Shortly after that,
2013,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So really had to
You're
build up.
rebuilding your life. Yeah.
Right.
I came out, I had no money. Like they when I got arrested, everything got taken away. So,
Right.
and it's got a blank again.
No, it's
Yeah,
good.
yeah,
No, that's good.
no, that was good.
You wouldn't change anything.
I'm the same way when people ask me that question. I'm like, dude, I've been through all of the experiences I was supposed to go through at each phase of my life, and it has brought me to this point today. Yeah. Everything that I learned along the way it allows me to be the person I am today. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I'm just like, yeah, I probably wouldn't change anything differently.
No, I love that. Okay, last question. The final question. What impact do you hope to leave with the audience?
Oh, gosh. Yeah. Shoot. Like, I don't could say, hey, if I did it, you can. It's up to you. The decision is your choice, right?
Yeah.
The choices you make today is your outcome for tomorrow.
Totally.
You know?
Yeah. That's it.
I love that.
Right?
The choices you make today.
You wake up in the morning, like my daughter said, you're either going to stay asleep, keep dreaming, or you're going to wake up and follow your dreams.
Yeah.
So the choices or the people you hang around with today is going to make an impact tomorrow. Because if you're hanging around with that crowd that, is not, party every night. And
right.
They aren't moving the needle for you in your life.
How are you supposed to put food on the table?
Yeah.
You want to do is just party, and not thinking about, just thinking about yourself, being selfish, right?
Right.
So choices is huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What we do today and what will impact your future for you tomorrow.
And it is as simple as that.
Yeah.
It really is. It's whatever choice you make, that's what you're going to get. You know what I mean? I know regardless of the circumstance, you can make that decision. Yeah. Regardless.
Yeah.
So I love that.
Nice.
That's all she wrote.
That's all she wrote.
That's all she wrote. I appreciate you coming on.
You
like, honestly.
This was super fun.
This will be the first time. I mean, we'll probably have you
back
on.
We're going to go and do a YouTube video on how to do a deal analyzer.
We're going to do that, but then we're also going to
walk you through the hard money process.
That's
right. Specifically, scope of work and developing a draw schedule. Because analyzing a deal is different.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Like for me, I don't even use the deal analyzer, right?
Yeah.
I know, just because I got construction background, I know we should use the deal analyzer, but I'm good with numbers.
You're good with numbers,
right?
yeah.
So going in, I already know if it's a deal or not.
Yeah.
Right.
And time and experience will get you there too, though. Yeah. Even if you're like me and not great with numbers.
Don't follow me because there's deal analyzer, you can plug in all the numbers, right?
Yeah.
And I can see it. I don't for me. It's here.
Yeah.
I think I need to change that.
I'm gonna connect
well, if you're gonna
delegate
it, you have to. That person needs a
connect you with
spreadsheet.
somebody that will help you get all of this wisdom out of your head and onto paper, so you don't.
She's awesome.
You're way too busy to be trying to write everything down. You just need to do a brain dump, literally diarrhea on somebody, and then do that, and then you review it and then fill in the gaps.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
She's a good girl.
I got you.
Yeah. 22 texts.
Yeah.
6 calls.
And we gotta get you a VA that can help you.
I know, it's crazy. But yeah, right on. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Yeah. Aloha.